So not too long ago, we did an episode about words and phrases from Polish that actually we should borrow into English somehow because they were useful, because they covered certain, concepts or ideas that we just don't have words for in English. The only one I remember off the top of my head is kilkanaście. Remember that, Josh?
Umpteen, yeah.
Like a good term for somewhere between 12 and 20, kind of imprecise. What else? Pojutrze, przedwczoraj, I think were other ones that, good one-word terms for they don't have a direct equivalent in English, and that we should borrow somehow. Anyway, in today's episode, we're going to go in the opposite direction. We're going to put on our attack gloves here. I got a short list here of random things about Polish that have always kind of bothered me, I guess you could say. Now, we all know, we've said this before, we all know you can't apply rules of logic to language. It is the way it is, just like English spelling is stupid because it is the way it is. Polish grammar is insane because it is the way it is. But we've got a couple of guests in our studio today that are helping us out with a few episodes this week. Marcin and Pavel, who they were on the news earlier with us this week, and a couple other episodes we've already done. So, guys, I'll go through the formality of welcoming you back to the show, even though you haven't left the couch in like an hour. So welcome back.
Hello.
Hi.
Well, the enthusiasm is off the charts here.
Yeah.
People cannot wait to get to this. All right. It's a bullet pointy list. Now, Pavel and Marcin, I'm just throwing this out there. I want to get your explanation, if that's possible. Like, why do you do it this way? Right? Like, can you give us some help to understand why it is this way in Polish, right? For example, look over here. You see this thing here? What is this, Pavel? What is this?
What do you mean?
What am I pointing at?
Doors?
Doors?
Door?
How many doors are there?
Door.
How many are there?
The one.
One door.
All right.
So why, in Polish, why is door plural, linguistically in Polish? Why do you say the door are?
That's what you were told.
Like your tone. It's like, why is it like?
Explain yourselves, people.
Yourself.
That's what I was
Scissors,
told.
John. Scissors.
Why is? Well, I'll get to the. Hold that thought, Josh.
Scissors.
Why? Any idea? Yeah.
No.
The door are.
I never. No, I don't know. Because they have two sides.
Well, okay, that's maybe part of it. Josh is on the right track. I was in English. We have scissors. We have, for example, jeans or trousers.
Yeah.
It's technically one item, but it has two parts. So I guess you could look at it that way. But there are plenty of things. A plate has two sides, right? A piece of paper has two sides, but
Coin.
Yeah. So, but that's a coin is what a door are. So
Yeah, fair point. Let's move on.
You're just gonna plead guilty to this one, I guess, right? You offer no defense for the accusation against you.
There's no explanation.
All right, so you're.
But it is true.
We're off to a good start. How would you say in Polish, my dog died?
Jest zdechł.
And how would you say, my cousin died?
Zmarł.
Okay, so why do animals have one verb for dying and humans have another verb for dying?
Great question. Again,
I
mean, I applaud you for your,
Oh, I've got you guys. You guys are in trouble, believe me, because this list has been made over years.
Guess because animals don't have a soul.
So
I would say emotional rooting of this
Yeah.
is also a
what
factor.
is the verb again for animals?
Zdechł.
Okay, and the verb for humans?
Zmarł. Umarł.
Okay, and the best you can offer is what
I have no clue. I mean, I think he's right. The emotional.
But
connection.
you have the emotional connections to your pets, so
that's true. That's true.
I mean, if I would say that about, because I had my parents' dog recently died, so if I would say that the dog is there, I guess kind of, but inside I would not think that. So
I did that the other day. We were sitting at our friend's place drinking beer, and one of our friends mentioned that his dog died, and he said, "Jest zmarł," and I was like, "Zdechł." He didn't zmarł.
So in his grief, you corrected his grammar.
I thought about it. I mean, I thought about it the next day. It's like, why is it that way? I have no clue. Just the way it is.
Now, is this a kind of universal? Humans die with one verb, and all other living beings die with the other verb. Is that how it is? Fish, insects, birds.
I think it's about pets, right?
How about like something metaphorical, like your dream dies, your hopes die? What verb do you use
I
then?
don't think our dreams, do they die in Polish?
Oh, maybe it's a different collocation in English then.
Yeah, I
What
never
else
thought
can
about
die, kind of like metaphorically speaking,
A tree.
in Polish? A tree,
Plants.
Plants
yeah,
die.
obviously.
But like, which verb do you use?
Uschło. So
We got another one.
They dry.
they dry, actually. They don't die. Again,
Yeah, you're pleading guilty again. I guess.
yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's
Not looking good for your criminal sentence here, Cap.
Lengthy rap sheet.
Okay, well, let's continue here. Who wants to take this one? Who wants to?
Wait, the next one?
Volunteer. Paolo.
Yeah, I guess
okay,
I
Paolo. Just play along. How do you say one car?
Jeden samochód.
Two cars.
Dwa samochody.
Okay, so the plural changed, right, from one to two. Three cars.
Trzy samochody.
Four cars.
4 samochody.
Five cars.
5 samochodów.
Ooh, the plural changed again at five.
Dun dun dun.
This is how it is in Polish. Why? This is my
grammar. It's grammar.
But whoa. Why would you have two plurals and one of them is just reserved for 2, 3, or 4 of something? What the hell is that?
Beer, see also.
I'm thinking if this is the same with some other things.
Yeah,
That,
think of any example. And
Any word.
every word has a different plural, but only for 2, 3, and 4.
4 drzewa, 5 drzew.
4 marchewki, 5 marchewek.
2 lata, 3 lata, 4 lata.
So there's something built into the language. There's something mystical and magical about 2, 3, and 4. Any ideas?
3 is the magic number. I don't know. Again, I've got nothing. Like,
I think there's something. Yeah, you're going to prison for a long language prison here for a long time. There's something mystical, magical actually about 5. Think about it. 250, 250. There's all the numbers change at 5. What's everything changes at 5 in Polish? What's up with that? The plural of something when you're counting something.
What's 5,000?
5000?
Oh, that's the same.
It's the same.
2000, 3000, 4000, 5000.
Ah, 2000. Ah. No.
That goes back to the different plural for 2, 3, 4.
Polish language was never my strong side, so
That's actually true. We barely passed our Matura test.
yeah.
Because I had the feeling you've been stitched up.
Can I say that it's true that Polish does, in fact, have everything has 2 plurals, and one of them is just for 2, 3, and 4.
Sure. I mean, you have to understand that we barely communicate in Polish. Like,
Yeah, I like calling my friend in Sweden she's like speaking this weird mixture of Polish and English that I'm super comfortable speaking
yes.
with. So
By the way, like most people, when you go talk to them, they mix Polish and English, even in Poland, all the time. The fact that we say sorry all the time. Like, why do we say sorry?
Serio?
I don't know. Why do you?
I don't know. Is that like, are you making fun of me right now?
Not at all. All right.
I don't know.
Moving on,
Why
Marcin.
do you?
Moving on, Marcin. How do you say 1 year?
Jeden rok.
And 2 years?
Lata.
How does the whole word change just because it's a plural?
See,
The whole word, it's a different word, completely different word. Oh, and pinch lat, by the way. Lata, 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 lat.
Yes.
So how come for the word year, there's a different form just for one, just for reserved for one of something, that gets thrown away as soon as you move to 2. Of course, for 2, 3, and 4, there's a different plural. And then when you get to 5, there's another plural. What any logic here?
I'm thinking about numbers right now.
Yeah.
And do you know that apparently the Polish language or Slavic languages, they came from Sanskrit.
Okay.
And so that's an ancient Indian language.
So we're blaming them for it then.
Yes, I'm blaming
blame as any other.
No, but like the numbers are, and some words are oddly strange to the ancient Sanskrit words for example, koń is almost the same. Dva is deva in Sanskrit. And it just, I guess you should look for an answer there.
Sounds like you're trying to avoid responsibility.
Does really, doesn't it? Yeah.
Sticking with
guilty
numbers,
as charged.
like rock, one rock. Also, when in the written form of Polish, like if you have a year, let's say the year 1995, there's a little R after it. How much of a grammar mistake is it to leave that R out? Is that like a
What?
I thought you're talking about
on a page? If you see a year, the year is always followed by R.
Yeah.
R, just to let you know that that's a
that's
year.
true. Yes.
Because otherwise you'd be confused. What is this number? I have no idea. Oh, it's a year. Thanks. So how much of a mistake is it to leave that R out? Is it a big deal or not really a big deal?
I think it's a big deal, and you need to put a comma after or a dot after
You have to put
the
it, or you
R.
just write the word.
or rok, because it's an abbreviation.
It's an abbreviation, yeah.
It's interesting because that's something.
It's a 3-letter word that has an abbreviation.
What's the three? Oh yeah,
rock?
You said 3 words. Yeah, it needs to abbreviate, shorten it a bit. Because Polish is all about making stuff shortened to the point, right?
Jest drugi R.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I see this a lot when I'm proofreading. Actually, often the translation will be very good, but you'll have the mention of the year, and then there'll be the little R dot that the translator has failed to remove.
Another confusing thing about the year. Let's go back to the 20th century for this. Like the example I gave, 1995. I have to say, in English, I think we save a lot of time saying 1995 instead of 1995. It takes you half an hour in Polish to say to enunciate the year of something.
Most people say like 22.
Yeah. How much of a crime would it be instead of 1995 to say 1995? It just doesn't sound natural.
Straight to jail.
Language jail. Ow. This is not a thing. Not an option.
Straight to jail.
That's the sound of the key being thrown away. Yeah.
Especially when you have these dates from before this century, they just sound long. It takes quite a long time for everything to come out. Numbers are hard. We talked about the plural. How about this one, Pavel? Now we know what pronouns are, right? What's the Polish word? Zaimki? Zaimek. Okay. So, what's in Polish? How would you say "with you"?
I thought you were going to ask him about his pronouns.
My pronouns.
Sorry, I didn't mean to assume your pronouns.
I'm not comfortable disclosing those.
How would you say "with you"?
Z tobą.
Okay. How would you say "without you"?
Bez ciebie.
So why does "you" become a completely different word? Just because the sense of the sentence is negative.
Well, hold on, John. Can I interrupt there? Because my very, very limited understanding of Polish is that as soon as you make anything negative, then the ending at least undergoes a massive transformation.
Yeah, being negative. I have a cat. I don't have a cat, and the object always changes somehow just because the sentence is negative.
And pronouns, of course, are irregular.
You just gave an example that isn't exactly
what.
I mean, it's mam kota, nie mam kota.
How do you say I have a car? I don't have a car.
Mam samochód, nie mam samochodu. Okay, well.
So wait, some objects change, some don't.
You don't.
Yes.
Duh. Obviously. Okay, so it's just the way it is. The fact that a sentence has a negative sense has an effect on everything, especially the object of the sentence. Is that just how it is?
Not negative. I mean, conjugation, right? Is that the word that I'm?
Yeah, but why is it a different word? This isn't. Tolbon becomes Chebia. That's not a conjugation. That's a completely different word.
Okay.
Yeah, but John, pronouns are often irregular in all sorts of languages. I mean, it's true even in English, isn't it? I mean, he goes to him or his.
Well, that's the difference between subject and object pronouns, right? This is the same with you, without you. It's the same form of the pronoun, but it's a completely different kind of pronoun.
Are you aiming at that this is like impractical and it should not be there in the language?
If I were a lawyer in language court accusing the Polish language of being insane, that's an argument I would make, I
understand.
Did you know, just as a side note, in English, first of all, there are 28 pronouns, 23 different ones. Some of them are used in more than one situation. But in Polish has about 173 pronouns. Because of the cases and the genders and just the general. I mean, when you have 173 of something, I don't know. Time to kind of,
So why has not this died out? Because the language over time evolves and it tries to get simplified. So why are we still using that?
I think it did. It did simplify already. It's a simplification that we're using. We don't use, Old Polish, or are we? I don't know.
Well, listen, I mean, as I vaguely understand it, I mean, of the Slavic languages, Polish is one of the most kind of intricate and formalized, isn't it? I think that, like Czech, for example, is sort of dumbed down Polish, some people might say. Apologies to all our Czech listeners.
It's pretty fun listening.
Actually, Pavel, you touched on something interesting. You guys know it better than I do, Old Polish versus modern Polish. But I've heard the argument put forward more than once that one of the reasons why Polish is the way it is, complicated, is that because of the partitions and because of disappearing from the map, people, the people who were kind of responsible for these kinds of things saw it as important to preserve things the way they were, and language being an important cultural relic. It was kind of like frozen in ice because we don't want to lose anything. So that includes things that maybe could be, streamlined or refined as time moves on. Does that make any sense to you? This is just a theory, by the way.
I mean,
if you say so.
But I would say you have like written Polish, and you have a lot of young people that are not incapable of using proper written Polish. So like a formal Polish language that you're supposed to communicate in written form. So I guess it's dying out.
Yeah, I guess
fast.
it is. And the language that we use every day is very different from the written Polish that you're talking about. Especially like if you study Polish poetry, it's very different.
What do you call, moving on to something else here I find interesting or confusing, what do you call, in the world of sports, if someone's caught cheating because they're taking drugs, what do you call that in Polish?
Doping.
Right. And at a
Doping.
And at a football match, for example, the support that the crowd gives, singing and whatnot, what do you call that?
Doping.
Okay, so why do you use the same word?
Because it's basically the same thing.
Cheating.
I don't know about that. Is that just coincidence, or is there something about the word, the origins of the word?
I guess someone,
Now the first
doesn't
one,
understand the English, just used the word and it just stuck.
with the drug context, it seems like a borrow because that's what we say in English.
Yes.
And dope. Okay, but with the fan support thing, I don't get that at all. I don't see where that comes from. Is there a verb in there somewhere? Dopingovac? What was there?
Dopingovac is yes, but obviously, it's not a entirely Polish word.
There's no root to that thing.
Like fundamentally, you're trying to achieve the same thing with like using drugs to enhance your sport results and having people cheering for you.
You're equating using drugs to have people cheering for you.
Yes.
The only difference is that when you're taking drugs, it's you taking drugs, and when someone is, rooting for you, it's the other person doing the act of rooting, right?
Right, and the first one is illegal. So
let's talk about
Complete speculation here. Let's move on. Here's a classic example that's familiar to a lot of people. Every country on the planet, including South Korea, China, and Japan, I checked, they refer to Italy with some form of Italy. Italia. Every country on the planet except for one. Here in Poland, for mysterious reasons, Josh, I think you know something about this. Did we talk about this recently?
We did. I don't know if it was for the benefit of our listeners or whether it was just over
Poland calls Italy Włochy.
Yes.
For mysterious reasons. Who's got something to
what else is called Włochy?
What?
Like hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I guess it's because they have beautiful hair. I have no clue.
Except for a percentage of mature men who have very little hair on their heads, although often vast jungles of it on their front and back.
Like, I don't know, 25 years ago, when I was 5, I asked all these questions. Nobody, gave me an answer, so I don't care anymore. Nobody cares.
That's the way it is.
That's the way it is.
This is one of those internet memes that show up on Facebook from time to time where everybody's calling it Italy, Italia,
Yes.
Italia. And there's the Polish guy with the drool coming out of his mouth. And what?
What? Yeah. I'm sure there's an explanation somewhere. There was probably like if you had an historian here, they would probably explain why. But
you mean like a proper guest? If we had a proper guest who knew what they were talking about.
Like,
if we had a budget.
Knows Polish language. They would probably help
I
you
think
more.
the same applies to Hungary as well. The Vengre is...
Does Finland, does the Finnish language do they call it Italia as well?
I can't be bothered to look it up now, but I was
because they have like that. Let's talk about talking about strange languages. Finnish is effed
off
up
the map, yeah.
in terms of like it has nothing to do with any other language on the planet.
Sounds like more misdirection from you, Merchant.
Also, there's
trying
the
to
thing,
blame other people,
which is of course off topic for this, but I mean, like most people think of Finland with some kind of Finn kind of appellation, but in Finland, of course, they call it Suomi.
Yeah.
And Hungarians, of course, call themselves Magyars.
Yeah.
Magyarország, I think, is the full name.
Oh, all right.
What's the name, guys? What's the name for the entrance? Like to a room, an entrance.
Wejście?
Exit.
Wyjście.
How many letters difference are there between those two words?
One.
Now, do you think if you have two polar opposites, like completely opposite words, that you could do more than have one letter difference between them, like especially important words like entrance and exit? I'm not blaming you, Martin. You look like I'm blaming you for this.
Because it's funny. I agree.
I would say is even more dangerous version of that is włączyć and wyłączyć,
Yes.
which is turn on.
Yeah, another one, yeah.
Like you want someone to turn off the electricity because you're working on
Yes.
it, and there could be a huge opportunity
So
for
that's-
Or when
simple-
you're in the bank, wpłacić and wypłacić.
Yes. And the difference is a Y between.
Oh, and east and west.
So in some cases,
Well,
we just
Zahul-
change
yeah.
it. We just change one letter in the word. But in other cases, we completely use a different word for the opposite.
because it's all about efficiency.
It's exactly
like the same as with the
Z
R.
tobą, bez ciebie, włączyć, wyłączyć. Makes sense.
Well,
I
look,
guess.
actually, there's a like the points of a compass. Like in English, it's like NSWE. And then what is it in Polish?
Zachód.
And north and south?
Południe.
Yeah, but like as initials, how do you put that? PPZZ?
Oh, I don't think we use the. I think we use the.
I guess you're a bit screwed, aren't you, with that?
Yeah, we
You say
use.
still one best Chebia or something.
That makes that again. I mean,
Actually, Papa makes a good
what do you
point.
want from me?
I'm sorry. Papa makes a good point with włączyć and wyłączyć. That simple typo could result in like a nuclear power plant blowing up or something like that.
Electrocution.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
Or a plane
death.
crash.
Huge. Oh, Josh. I had
Oh,
to
he said
go there.
wyłączyć. Oh, okay.
Lunch? I thought you said lunch. Okay. And when you're in a parking garage, what's the word specifically for parking?
this one.
The word for entrance to a parking garage,
Wjazd.
and the word for exit from a parking garage.
Wyjazd.
I have been driven to insanity many times in Polish parking garages because I'm like, "Where's the goddamn exit?" Because I just can't. They look the same to me.
But
We're stuck at the parking lot.
started.
I just got out like an hour ago. Yes.
But it's common to have the exit sign, like the proper exit sign
Really?
that says exit.
Not a Galeria Serenata. It's not. I drive in circles in that place every time I go there. But yeah, the same thing. I mean, complete opposites, but just one letter difference, and it's just odd.
It is. I agree. No, I mean I agree with you. And okay, I'm trying not to talk about English here, by the way, because there are.
Please go ahead.
Well, we've got
no
pre and
problem.
post, which admittedly is not so.
Why do you say? I don't know. I mean, let me think about it for a moment.
Well, while you're thinking, I'll throw another one at you. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Not-
Deer.
yeah.
The word deer,
Like-
like dear brother, whatever,
Okay.
and bear.
That's
word
about
bear.
pronunciation. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's spelled the same.
Deer and bear.
Yeah.
What? One's a D, one's a B. What-
Yeah, I know, but the A and A is
So
DEAR.
you're talking about the pronunciation there. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, English is full of examples like
read,
that.
read.
Full of examples like that.
So yeah, let's go to jail together.
I'll see you there, man. One more thing before we wrap this up. One more thing. I find this more interesting and a little bit funny than confusing. When Polish people answer the phone, a lot of people say hello, but the traditional way to answer a phone in Poland is,
Słucham.
which the translation is "I'm listening."
Yes.
And it strikes me as very funny to pick up a phone and say, "I'm listening." Like, okay, go. Don't waste my time. Is that weird to you guys?
And it's considered to be it's polite. It's a polite
Yeah,
word.
right. It's like the formal, the nice way to answer.
To me.
I don't think this is the polite way of picking up your phone. Słucham.
Really?
No, I mean
That's what I thought.
I don't pick up the phone at the office this way. So
I think it's less common now than it was in the past.
Yeah.
Maybe now with cell phones, you know who's calling
no,
you.
I
or
say
whatever.
hello.
Hello.
Is this jail?
Well, I thought anyway. I thought
I'm
it was.
listening.
is this my phone call?
I thought it was like tak słucham anyway, not just like słucham.
Aksuham? Could be.
My parents use Suham. Every time I call them, they say Suham.
Well, I do have the impression it's a little more old school, I think.
Do you know what they say in Italy?
What do they say? Pronto.
no.
Pronto.
Go, just go.
Go? Yeah. All right, go. Like
But you can also do pronto. You can proszę.
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 Yeah.
That's
please.
possible.
Oh, yeah, the published word that has 10,000 meanings.
Japanese say what is
Moshi
it?
moshi.
Moshi moshi.
They
Which
really
is-
say that?
Yeah, which is like what does
It's
it mean?
a it's a dedicated word for just picking up the phone and greeting someone.
I thought it
calling
has
you.
something to do with turtles.
Turtles. I
Maybe
don't-
not.
Of course.
Duh, obviously.
It was like okay, we can do another episode about just the word, I guess.
All right, well, you make your list.
Okay.
Because I get the feeling you want to punch back, but you just don't have the examples right now. So I'll give you time to make your list.
Need to think about it, but yeah, okay.
And you can research some of the things we talked about today.
We will take a revenge.
We'll have you on again for more.
The mysterious double plural forms in Polish. The mystical meaning of 5.
I think the problem in English it's also the fact there are so many different accents, and you can just, it is a problem when you're learning the language, and just so you know. I mean, let's not talk about it right now because we can do separate.
You have to learn your prefixes, don't you? Like,
I think he's just flexing.
V is in, V is out.
I was thinking about it the other day when I was talking about English to my wife, and we just said, like, when you're studying English as a foreign person, it's much easier to learn American English, in my opinion, at least, because it's easier to understand. Like, if you're trying to learn British English from the first day, you can barely understand what they're saying, in my opinion. Again,
but that's what the most schools.
Well, it's because American English is sort of dumbed down version of the proper language.
Because it's the dominant version of the internet and pop culture.
Just but because there's more people
to understand. It is. It's I don't know. It's like in English.
You're right though. That you make a good point.
The word. Say butelka wody in English.
Water bottle?
No, yeah, bottle of water. Bottle of water. Bottle of water. Bottle of water.
Pronunciation.
What is that? Like,
not everybody from the UK speaks English in that fashion.
Water.
But who made the point about the schools here teaching UK English?
But
because they teach my daughter, for example, have you got? And I've always found it awkward as opposed to do you have. For me, I default to do you have.
Yeah.
And have you got always sounds very awkward. Josh,
just the word got is a bit kind of harsh and horrible, isn't it? I kind of agree with you on that. But that's just,
But that's what they teach kids here. Have you got a pen? Whatever. And I
really?
Just say, yeah.
That's odd.
It is.
Very strange.
Okay, it's like otrzymać is like translated as like I got this, and in fact received is the sort of the received pronunciation.
All right, let's back off of Pavel and Marcin. They did well to take our abuse. They did their best to answer the unanswerable. So we'll look forward. They can get their revenge. I invite them to make a list and come back sometime, and Josh and I will do our best to handle the part 2, the revenge.
Yeah,
next time. Anyway,
that'll be a
thanks for listening, everybody.
Episode.
KrakCast.pl. 400 episodes. Actually, this one might be our 400th episode, depending on when we post it. I'm not sure. Anyway, check out all of our back episodes. Give us a like, follow, comment, whatever, to please the great algorithm in the sky. And thanks again to Pavel and Marcin for helping us out. And we'll see you next time on the KrakCast.